Good afternoon. I'm Patrick Mapulanga from the University of Malawi, and I'll be making this presentation not necessarily from the University of Malawi point of view, but from the consortium. So I also happen to be the secretary to our local consortium, and I was supposed to make this joint presentation with Trevor. Trevor, maybe? Yes, so for the sake of time, we need to run through it and discuss matters later on. So you can approach Trevor, you can approach me. Trevor is the INASP country coordinator, as you can see. In 2009, I happened to have collected data for the Association of Commonwealth Universities. I'm happy Harry is here, John is here. That data did indicate that in terms of e-resources availability, countries in developing countries like Malawi, I think the study was covering Tanzania, Kenya, Malawi, and a number of other countries. It did indicate that we are getting e-resources equivalent to most of the developed countries. In other words, our main problems is not to do with access, really, to say we are not able to access the e-resources, but the problems are there. It's to do with poor connectivity and reliable, and in most cases expensive. I'll demonstrate just that. Now, in terms of library consortia in Malawi, as early as 1996 or 97 or thereabout, libraries in Malawi had already access to some of the e-resources. And if you had officials from CISA here would agree with me, so that by 2002, there was already an initiative that maybe there was need to improve the internet connectivity. Otherwise, within the same period, INASP was already providing e-resources equivalent to almost $3 million US. Of course, courtesy of the PERI and whatever program. The biggest challenge by then was not necessarily to do with which resources. No, it was about connectivity and other issues. So you notice from here the picture from 2005. This was taken in 2005, but this picture still stands today. If you like to use the e-resources, then the best time is when the offices are closed. Otherwise, during normal working hours, it's practically impossible. So this is the biggest challenge that we have. It's not about the e-resources. The e-resources are available, courtesy of INASP and EIFL. And then there were a group of people that were thinking about how to improve internet connectivity. And one of the initiatives that came around at that particular time was, of course, maybe we need to have VSAT connectivity so that we bypass along, a lot of hurdles that are along the way. So we have VSAT connectivity from Malawi direct to our counterparts in Europe. And indeed, in 2006, with funding from CISA, World Bank, as well as a local trust, internet connectivity slightly improved. Not a big improvement, as there were 4 VSAT installations in 4 strategic places within the country. And this is a picture of the installation in one of the colleges of the University of Malawi. So they had gone up the roof and they were taking pictures of that installation. Now, e-resource provision in Malawi generally has been courtesy of INASP, as I said, and EIFL, and we also have initiatives from Research for Life. The statistics are there, but all I just wanted to say is we have access to the e-resources, courtesy of Hinari, Agora, Owari, and that's that. In terms of usage, you will notice that the usage has been slightly increasing. Those are full-time downloads. And this is data that we got from INASP with their permission, of course. overall, I should say that at the consortia level, yes, the picture looks rosy in the sense that the downloads are increasing. But you'll notice that the graph is also going down in some cases. Now, literally what that means is in 2009 or thereabout, we could not raise enough money to pay for the e-resources. So there was actually just very little resources to subscribe to what we wanted. But the trend is increasing. So the hope is that the current statistics, if I may ask Trevor, they should be more than this. Challenges. One of the challenges, of course, is to do with let me rush a bit about this. The e-resources versus, the amount of money that we collect versus what is being charged. I'm happy that the publishers are here. But roughly, if you look at that graph, the lower one in green is what we are contributing. And so it's like that. And the e-resources total subscription, something that we're supposed to pay as a consortium, that's the upper graph. Now, if you ask me, I would say I would want a situation where these two graphs are merging. I don't know whether that is possible, but the publishers are here. I hope it's possible. So we would want to reach a situation where in economics we'll be talking about equilibrium, where the publishers and the librarians are talking the same language. Another challenge is low connectivity. I'm not so sure whether you're able to see the figures there. 4 megabytes per second, upward link, 1 megabyte per second, downward link, something like that. But I want you to concentrate on the cost. The cost of megabyte per second of internet connectivity, roughly, the lowest from the colleges that I got, those are the big public institutions in Malawi. The lowest is $1,600 US per megabyte per second. And that is on the higher side, considering the resource envelopes that we have. What is being done? My colleagues from Zambia, as well as from Zimbabwe, my sisters, have mentioned about this initiative to interconnect with Europe and what have you. So there are all those initiatives, and I'm 100% so sure that the publishers, as well as all of us in here, have heard about the DANT and what have you, and the National Research Educational Networks and what have you. But in terms of rollout, it's being rolled out in phases. So it means we still have a challenge with the internet connectivity. My sister from Zimbabwe talked about the connectivity. So it seems it's already there. So Tenet in South Africa, Zambia, Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, and it has already been done. But we still have Block B countries, in which we have Malawi is also included in there. So it's not yet there. What it means is the connectivity for our access for the e-resources is still a big problem. It is envisaged that once the Africa Connect project is fully rolled out, implemented, then it is likely to reduce the bandwidth costs. For example, roughly it is estimated that on average we are paying something like $4,000 per megabyte per second for internet connectivity in the institutions. But that is likely to be reduced or slow down to about $135 per megabyte per second. So the hope is that this connectivity, the Africa Connect or whatever, be rolled out very soon so that we see the benefits of the internet connectivity itself. Lastly, what does that mean in terms of resources provision? I've highlighted a few words in blue, or what I would want to see. But I know this is practically possible. While internet connectivity issues are still being sorted out, it's a request that libraries, they need solutions from the publishers that will let us libraries in developing countries to continue offering our services with as much content as possible, and that you reduce your, we should not in a way lose content. I know it's a contentious issue. They will say, oh, what about this or what about that? Our plea is that we should maintain getting the same content that we've been getting, more especially with the assistance of INASP. If INASP pulls out and then want us to negotiate on our own, it will be a big challenge. But if we can agree on solutions, that will make sure that we get as much content as we have been getting without loss of it, and with a minimum or affordable prices, then that's the solution that we're looking for. Let me end there. Thank you.